Hey, folks, welcome to the 128th episode of The Workshop. I'm making it sound like it's a show, but really it's a comedy workshop where a lot of us are going to be trying new material. Some of us are going to be trying old material. Some of us are going to try to polish some stuff, and some of us are just going to be working through some stuff that our stepdads did to us a long time ago. My host tonight, I'm Kevin Eggleston. And if you have never watched a workshop before or you're just brand new to it, what it is each comic has been given a word. They've been asked to create a set of about 5 minutes in length. We're going to listen to that set, give them some feedback. Everyone's going to go. And then we're going to get a chance to do another round where it's all the material that we want to work on that is about, again, 5 minutes in length. I am asked and obliged by our glorious benefactor, Scott, to remind you that this is a comedy safe space. So we're all recognizing that we're trying new stuff. We're saying some stuff that maybe we haven't thought all the way through. So we all are going to be trying real hard to make sure that we accept each other for our comedy shortcomings. All right. Tonight I'm joined by Paul Ash, Michael Lipsky or
Lipsitch.
Lipsitch. Okay, there we go. Michael Lipsitch and Just James. We're going to go so contrary to the way things should go. We're going to go in like a counterclockwise direction because comedy is counterculture. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with Paul Ash. Paul, whenever you're ready, you're welcome to take it away with your set.
I gotta say the word I got out of the random word generator was magnitude. And just like when I was given that, it was just like the scope of the concept. It was just like the weight of it all. It just like this is something that like I really I don't have the word to specify like the significance or the grandeur of that word. It was just like we truly don't understand the greatness or the depth that people have to deal with in trying to find a word that has like at least 7 other words that mean the same fucking thing. Not sure. It's like how can we understand the magnitude of somebody's life from just that? Like if you just take a simple premise to the point, like I don't think any animal ever considers those ribs spare. Like you don't know where that animal is coming from. You don't picture like Farmer Brown walking up to the barn and like Frank the pig comes out with a tray going, "Oh, hey Farmer Brown, I found these laying around. They're extras." Oh, where's Lenny? He's around here somewhere. Probably pretty close. Wink. Like the entire scope of what's happening in this guy's life. Like Frank, the pig. Like why would he have to kill Lenny? Right? He's a talking pig. He's famous. He's got to be famous. He's got to have like probably written a book. I don't think he could write a book though, because ham hocks would make it hard to type. But like he probably has a reality TV show. He's a talking pig. He's famous. Like we got to understand the grandeur of his life, the magnitude that he has existed in. But I can't remember Frank the Talking Pig's reality TV show. Not that I'm big on reality TV. Do you guys remember that Talking Pig's reality? Like, actually, now this makes a lot more sense because maybe Frank the Talking Pig is just hiding out somewhere. Like, that makes perfect sense because who other than the mob would actually name a pig Frank? Right now, Frank is hiding out at Farmer Brown's, barn, and he wants to remain hidden. Right, that's why he's keeping it low key. Right, because like if the mafia ever catches Frank, his ass is bacon, which is technically the wrong place to take bacon from. That was the weak joke on magnitude. Mm-hmm. The little Frank the Talking Pig thrown in. You're too kind.
And now we are at the feedback portion here. So who cares to start us off?
I liked how you focused on magnitude at the beginning and kind of put the definition out there, and then switch to the pig thing. That was genius. That's I don't know what else to say, man.
Yeah, it was just trying to write. I just went to the thesaurus.
On your mind, something weighing you down.
Yeah.
I agree with James. I think it was a creative way to take a word you may not have had something and come up with something somewhat related. So I think it was a creative way to work the word in, even if the whole story didn't necessarily relate to magnitude. So that was kind of cool. Also, I like the story.
Yeah, a lot of good tags. Like who else would name the pig Frank? That was funny. And do any animals consider these spare ribs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked how you did that, where like pointing out that as far as synonyms go, like there's a lot for magnitude, and that makes it like a meaningless word. It's like if a word's important, shouldn't it just be the only one that could mean that thing? Why did we also come up with other words that mean it? I think that's kind of just a fun play on language. The Frank the Pig stuff, I got a little nervous with it. It felt like where you were trying to hit that 5-minute mark. I think there's a funny joke in there.
Yeah, I've stretched it, but it's I stretched it to try to shoehorn in some magnitude references. But it's the big pop at the beginning with consider any of those ribs spare.
Yeah, I do like that bit because that is kind of funny. Because how did they get that name?
Yeah. So
but yeah, I would keep it with that bit. Now is Frank the Pig an actual like reality show?
No.
Oh, okay, damn it.
That just
Canada.
I just so, yeah, no, we're up here just stealthing. It's I wrote the spare ribs joke just because of the turn of phrase, thinking why are they spare, and then after that I went, oh, that's a real good pop. I need something to go with it, and then I came up with a story that came after, which isn't as strong. So that's what I've been trying to tighten.
Gotcha.
Like a magnet with anger issues. It's got a lot of magnitude.
Join a gang, a magnet with tattoos.
Yeah.
What's Ryan saying? Oh yeah, Spare Ribs, Marilyn Manson's new album. It's an old reference. It's a good reference.
Yeah, these kids these days aren't going to have those fun things with their celebrities.
Really? Think body sculpting's not going to come back into phase, or?
Well, I like they have all too many different ones. Like every kid gets to kind of pick their own little one. We don't have just like all one that we culturally glom onto to make a weird sex-related rumor about.
There's always the annoying ones. Like hate spreads so much faster than love. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk about your politics.
Hate is the herpes of emotions, really, is what we found.
Yeah.
1 in 4 people has it.
Just 1 in 4. Okay.
Yeah. All right. We're going to move to our next comic.
Which would be Michael.
Feedback. Michael, yeah, you are up whenever you're ready.
Okay, excellent. So my topic was fog. And yeah, exactly. Thank you, Paul. So I was glad to see you stress the meaning of your topic a bit. So thank you for breaking the ice, because I skated a little bit. Canadians, we skate. It's all the ice. So fog is a serious problem, guys, because particularly when you wear glasses, right? So your glasses get fogged up, and not in a good way, because at least if I was breathing heavy in sex, that would be a fun time, right? But it happens all the time. Like, for example, I was remembering back in my college days, I was out with some friends on a really cold night, and it was like minus 30 or minus 40, something ridiculous like that. It was like to the point, because in college, we all have stellar automobile. So there was one car for like 10 of us because all the other cars froze and wouldn't start. So one friend was doing the run back and forth from like our end of town downtown to get us all downtown. And then we're walking through downtown, and my glasses are completely fogged. I can't see a thing. So I take off my glasses, and now I see even worse, which is how I ended up in the wheelchair. No, guys, I'm kidding. My friends were nice enough to help direct me. So they're like, "Oh yeah, Mike, don't worry. It's a red light. Stop. Green light. Red light. Green light." I was so glad I played red light, green light in kindergarten. It was good training for my clubbing days. And now with the face masks, right? That's even worse because like you wear the face mask and like I mean the whole point of wearing a face mask is that you don't get COVID and can breathe. So you still want to breathe, but breathing plugs up the glasses, right? So a friend of mine told me, "Oh, don't worry. What you have to do is take a piece of medical tape and put it on the bridge of your nose to hold the mask in place." Oh, well, that's fucking fantastic. Now, just in case the glasses don't make me look nerdy enough, let's go all out, right? Let's get the glass on the nose. Why don't I just get like, hike up my pants, put on some suspenders, and walk around going, "Did I do that?" And guys, I understand appropriating a black character. There goes my career in politics. Although, because realistically, my name is not Trudeau. And here's the thing: I feel like Facebook is the land of foggy thinkers. What amazes me is the complete lack of consistency on people's positions, right? Because like you see someone post about police brutality, and that people just do what they are told there is no problem, followed by a post about how wearing a fucking mask infringes on your rights. We must fight the fascist public health authority. Dude, what happened to following orders and just obeying? My thing is, if you are going to say something hateful, at least be coherent about it. Another example of foggy thinking: tearing down statues erases history. Dude, read a fucking book. They're called history books for a reason. They're not going to change. Personally, I think that we can keep the statues, but present the full history. Like Sir John A. Macdonald, father of Confederation, started a cultural genocide against First Nations and Indigenous people. Present the full history. Also, I got a way to save money. Stop cleaning the statues. That way, the bird poop can tarnish the statue like racism tarnishes his legacy. That's what I got, guys. And as I was doing this, I realized I think Kevin and James, you guys are both American. So you may not. Am I right that you guys are both from the States?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, you probably didn't get most of the references. I apologize for that.
Man,
should
we
have
don't
probably
even know
done
our own history.
Well, yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
no, that was good.
done.
Good.
Thank you.
Your set had a point and shit. That was awesome.
I just
Thank you, Ryan. We appreciate you.
Wait, what was the topic? I didn't even hear it.
His
The
topic was
topic-
fog, so my topic's fog. Didn't see that coming.
Well played. Well played.
that's-
I wish I
Wait,
had
your
thought of
topic
that.
was fog?
Yeah, fog.
All right. So
Fuck, I
feedback.
didn't do this right.
that was the foghorn. That was the
Okay.
train. See, I grew
The
up around
train, can you
fog.
do that?
I could have easily done a half hour on fog. Actually, I think I already have fog jokes. So jealous, Michael.
Right, who doesn't? I got a whole notebook just full of fog jokes.
I'm trying to think here for as far as feedback. I do like how you did that play on talking about the physical fog and then going into like a metaphorical one. I thought that was a good way to transition those subjects while keeping that idea consistent. That was
Thank you.
like I said, that was very clever in hearing.
I also had the thought when you talked about being in university and going out clubbing, because I know you, of you going, we'd go out clubbing, and I don't mean take off my left leg and hit people with it. That's because I know Michael has an artificial leg. So,
Except it's on the right side, so if I took off my left
the
leg,
left
that
one.
would be kind of gruesome.
I'm just a little dyslexic. Sorry, Mike.
That's okay. No, that's okay. By the way, I was going to say off the top, Kevin, when you pronounce my last name, in fairness, Paul I know Paul from Montreal. We've done many shows together, so he's gotten a lot of practice on my last name. So good first try. But yeah, I see that would work, but I was kind of worried about bringing in the disability too much, just because obviously if people don't know me and don't see me walking onto stage, then they don't have that context, right?
Yes, yeah.
Do you guys have other feedback?
I liked the mask joke because I feel like everyone's got like a mask joke. That one felt a little bit at least was a different take or a fresh take on it to talk about the like actual like fogging issue, things like that. I've heard everyone talk like, oh, I'm a bank robber, all that kind of shit. So it was nice to have a new spin on the premise that we've all been hearing for the last 6 months.
Yeah, and when you moved on to the foggy thinking joke, I got a little confused, going, "What? Hold it! What? Obey the laws. What, Michael? This isn't the Michael I know. What the fuck is he saying?" It took me a second to realize that was sarcasm, so I apologize.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I can set it up a little bit better, or like play it a little more like that. A meme that says, or just so people know it's not me saying it.
Or to get, mention that I saw like a person who I thought I trusted had this post about and then do it.
Okay, cool.
And I think that means we're on to James.
All right, yeah, we're on to just James. James, whenever you're ready.
Oh, okay. All right. So my topic was Marines. I don't know if you guys will get these because you're up north. First one's in, first one's out. Semper Fi. The few and the proud. Why are there so few of them? Is it because pride's a sin? The root of all evil? The deadliest of all sins? That's not really a Marine joke. That's just random facts about pride. So the sages say. I had a buddy that joined the Marines. He wanted to be a ghost recon sniper, one of those guys crawling through the woods and eating bugs. He ended up being a cook. And so anyway, I was in the Army, so I would always have to remind him that the Marines were actually a department of the Navy. And he would always say, yeah, the men's department. And then we would have a laugh. And then we'd go kill commies. Rumors are true. Marines do like to eat crayons. They actually prefer scented candles from Bed Bath & Beyond. How old are you guys? Do you remember the old commercials of the Marines? They would carry swords and they would fight dragons. Like, what little kid didn't want to slay dragons when he got older? Me. I was scared. My mom had to read me a bedtime story. I did some research. Do you know which branch of the United States Armed Forces has the highest rate of death? The highest mortality rate overall, percentage-wise. I know what you're all thinking. It's actually the Coast Guard. So many drownings and shark attacks. What do you think the Coast Guard does? It's population control, the sharks. If it wasn't for the Coast Guard, we wouldn't even be able to swim in the oceans. I'm kidding. It's the Marines. That's all I got, man. That's it.
All right. I feel like if you ended on that Marines one, that's kind of a sad note.
Yeah.
The Coast Guard is
in the Army.
they all like broke their neck slipping on a beach ball or something. But like in the Marines, like, oh no, that's the
you're right.
fact of the war.
Malappropriate or malapplied sunscreen.
They've all got melanomas. It's brutal. Comedy likes cancer jokes.
So the Marines used to have we do more before 6:30 in the morning than most people do all day. Wasn't that one of their advertising slogans? Or is that Army?
No, it's Army. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm in the Army. I found it very hard to joke about them.
What, and not get punched? You should
Yeah,
have
that's what I
lots
started
of-
saying.
I liked I thought of an alternate or maybe a different tag about your friend the cook when you say, I have a friend of mine, he desired to become one of those ghost recon snipers, like the guys crawling through the bushes eating the bugs, and then he discovered it was hard, so he became a cook. But another friend of mine, he actually wanted to be Ghost Recon, and he found it on sale for $23.99 at Best Buy. Oh. Call of Duty.
Almost signed away 4 years for that.
Yeah, you could also go like he wanted to crawl through the mud and eat bugs, but he found out he could do the same a lot cheaper by just buying Taco Bell or any fast food chain you don't like.
or moving to Louisiana. No, Louisiana's nice. Moving to Alabama. That's one of the Amas.
I really like the Marine scented candle joke. That I got a kick out of that because you don't really think of usually like in all the commercials, right? You think of Marines the big tough guy, so you don't really think the scented candles. As I'm saying this, I'm wondering if you could bring in something with the bubble bath just to add to the silliness of it, like scented candle, bubble bath, bottle of wine, something to relax and unwind. I don't know. Maybe play something with that. Expand a little bit more on the scented candles.
And the eating crayons, that is a stereotype, isn't it? Like that's one of their big.
Yeah, I didn't even know if anybody would get that reference. Yeah.
And to connect to scented candles, they're really excited to go to war with the Yankee Candle next door. Like, center. Oh no.
Drew Carey was a Marine.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
he was, wasn't he?
Yeah, random fact. Sorry.
No, the photos of him are like terrifying when you
Yeah.
see like
He's
him
not
compared to
a
the show.
short boy.
I could have totally wrote a couple jokes about Drew Carey being a Marine. I didn't even think of that. That's a good premise.
Yeah. So he actually got a sitcom without changing his haircut
Or his glasses.
or his glasses.
You had first in, last out. I just wonder, like, you could make a joke like that's at an orgy too, They're just or a buffet. I don't know, anything where like there's a line procedure. Yeah. All right. Other feedback. Cool. We are flying, folks. All right. So I'm gonna start my time here. My topic was broadcasts. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. As a teacher right now, we're having to teach all of our classes online. So not only am I expected to teach high school English, which is something I'm barely competent at. Okay, like I have student loan debt showing that I'm just marginally capable of teaching kids how to read. But now I'm expected to be like a YouTube streamer during my class as well. Like I've got to treat it like it's a broadcast of entertainment to the masses. I'm just like, hey guys, we're going to diagram sentences, but first you got to like and subscribe my class. All right. I really need these. Like the next thing that's going to happen in teaching is I'm going to have to like buy chalk for my school supplies by starting like an OnlyFans. Okay. Like I'm going to have to spread my butt cheeks to make sure I got enough dry erase markers to get me through the school year. All right. And I can't do that. I feel like everyone has stopped watching the news. Like nobody's going to watch a news broadcast anymore. And like I can't really blame them because we have Twitter. Like I'm not going to sit down and watch an hour of news to find out why we're canceling a celebrity. I'm going to just trust the trending page on Twitter. All right. Like if you've got a hashtag about you, I assume you're a son of a bitch. All right. You have to go to like the special characters page to get a hash, the pound symbol. Okay. Wouldn't do that just for anybody. You've got to be the next Hitler to make me go to page 2. I feel like social media has changed how news broadcasts work. I feel like we all want our information quicker. I feel like if we had news broadcasts way in the past, we would have just communicated with emojis. Like I could just see them now being like, this just in, apparently the Hindenburg is fire emoji, sad face. Also, apparently Germany is Star of David, finger guns? I don't know. We're still looking on that one. But I watch a lot of Fox News, not because I agree with it, but just because I like to get my blood pressure just that little bit up in the morning. Like I like to tickle a heart attack before I start my day is really what I like. Like I feel like watching Fox News is kind of like getting choked during sex. Like it might kill me, and that's what makes it a little bit hotter. But I watch it because it's the closest I can get to a Thanksgiving dinner with my family without having to travel anywhere. It's just like I'm going to see blatant racism and somebody having a problem with their prostate either way. So I might as well watch the news. The problem is like my parents watch a lot of it, but I think Fox News just makes you bad at geography. Like as a broadcast, it makes you dumber because every time I can tell my dad's been watching Fox News because he calls me up and he's like, "Hey, Kevin, did you hear? The terrorists are going to bomb Seattle." And I'm like, that's fine, man. I don't live in Seattle. All right. Like I'm 20 miles away from it. They can do what they want there. I don't give a shit. Okay. I live in a town called Black Diamond. Terrorists got to Black Diamond. They'd be like, we already fucking bombed this place. There are 2 tire fires in this city. Why is that? Like I'm a town that's known only for discount heroin and baked goods. All right. Like we have nothing famous. The only time something explodes in my town is when our local meth dealer forgets that flammable and inflammable mean the same thing. All right. That's my time.
Nice.
Well done.
Yep.
What was your category?
Broadcast.
The OnlyFans reference.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to start an OnlyFans for Chalk, and then as you get on, I don't know if you have another callback in your regular set or anything, but you can say because they won't let me start another one because I have the OnlyFans for baked goods or whatever it is, my meth addiction, whatever the joke is that you did.
Okay.
By the way, loved you in The Kingsman. Sorry, is that the right last name? I'm not positive. All right, that's I shouldn't have said that.
I like the whole thing, man. It was entertaining. I listened to it the whole way through. I didn't hear you say what your category was, but like the jokes were all. I wasn't trying to make connections.
No.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I thought I also enjoyed it. I thought it was really funny. A few things I thought of. So when you mentioned, please like my channel, YouTube subscribers, the line I thought of was, I got to monetize this. Teachers don't get paid and I got student debt.
All right.
Then the emoticon, I really like that. So I think that has potential that you could expand it and maybe even like famous events through history and And I mean, as long as you want to make it. And when you mentioned the having like almost a heart attack but not having one, the only thing I thought of is I already have student debt. I don't want medical debt. That was
yeah.
the only thing I that popped to my head. But I liked it. It was really good and fun.
That'd be the good spot to put the OnlyFans. Like I've already got an OnlyFans for my school supplies. I don't need one for my medical debt too.
There you
Yeah.
go. There
Yeah.
you go. You have a good job.
Take note of that. All right, rock on.
Nope.
So we are on to the whatever we want round. So this will give our comics a chance to do whatever they're working on, whatever they want to polish up, all that fun stuff. So
All right, we going in reverse order now, or
yeah, we can. No,
James is shaking his head.
he's like, man, changing rules in the middle of it. No, Paul, whenever you are ready, we'll let you start.
So, all right, I was stalked by a vegan. He doesn't eat red meat. I have no idea where the aggression's coming from. And like everybody was telling me, oh, don't worry. He keeps on telling everybody that he's a good person. Flag number 1. If you got to tell people you're a good person, you're not a good person. So flag number 2, he's in his mid-30s and he lives with his mom. So mathematically, that means he owns a sword. Flag number 3, he's a flat earther. All right. And he hates the fact that I'm from Nova Scotia. I grew up next to the water. I could see ships go over the horizon when there wasn't fog, Michael. I could see ships going over the horizon. Like you see the top, but you don't see the bottom anymore. That's the proof of the curvature of the earth. And I told him that. He says, no, man. That's just the science of refraction. You're a flat earther. You lost the right to use the word science. Like, how can you believe that light will bend, but the earth doesn't curve? Like, personally, I just like to troll flat earthers to see if I could push them over the edge. And yeah, no, I got something that's not quite ready, but it's the I really hate the jokes about, you know, who ate that food first, like who was the first person to like drink milk from a cow, who was the first person to eat an egg, and then I heard about the Greenland shark and how they prepare it in Greenland. For those of you who don't know, Greenland sharks are a type of shark that they don't realize or they don't know how long they live because they seem to be immortal until something physically kills one. They also, because they live in below zero temperature, they don't pee. I mean, I've gone into cold water. My penis has shrunk. These ones just don't bother. They just end up putting the uric acid into their own bloodstream to act as antifreeze. Like, that's a secret to immortality, is just fill yourself with piss, apparently. Because of that, though, they're toxic to eat. But people in Greenland went, hold my beer. We'll find a way. And so what they do is they'll take a dead Greenland shark, which they'll have to kill because it doesn't die on its own, bury it in a pit, piss on the pile of rocks on the top, and leave it for 2 weeks, and then come back, and once it's fermented, it smells like vomit. And this is a delicacy. I think that explains reality TV. It's way too rough, but that's like the idea behind it. I've even lost Ryan. Ryan is no longer listening.
All right.
Yeah.
Are we all finished up?
Is there any feedback on that?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about the joke again in my head and look for like tags or something.
Yeah, the Greenland shark thing is really new. I've done the stalked by a vegan thing a bit, mainly because that
part was good. Where's the hostility coming from?
Yeah.
And the one after that, what was the next one?
Well, I just talk about that stalker. So he's he's a
not
flat
being
earther
able
as
to
well.
use the word science.
Yeah.
That was a good line too. I can't really think of anything. The last joke, it just didn't have as much punch to it. And
No.
like when you said it smells like vomit, like maybe some more descriptive words there.
Right.
Because I feel like you paused, like that was a junction where people would laugh potentially. But I think if you put more use into some creative language instead of the word vomit, you might get something there.
Okay.
And I can't really remember each line of the joke to be able to.
Yeah, that one's not like I said, that one is I haven't even tried it on stage yet.
Nice.
That one would be an interesting, not to get too like joke structure, but like a proofing kind of joke where you start with like an extreme position and then walk back. You're like, as a because you're Canadian. Now I don't know Canadian geography as well as I should. But like more northern than not, right?
Oh, what is it? 90% of the Canadian population lives within 30 miles of the U.S. border.
Something like that.
Yeah. So you're closer. You're kind of closer, but like you're more northern. You could like make an extreme statement, like I'm tired of like Europeans or like the people from like Greenland or Norway or these former Viking people and people that weren't fast enough to run from Vikings. Like looking down on us Canadians as not being hardy. Like you have a bullshit society because you eat piss fish. And like using that like proofing and then like going through and explaining and like you can't claim cultural superiority when like your like region's delicacy is a fish fermented in your pee.
Yeah.
But I like the stuff where you throw in there, like, because apparently the secret to immortality is just holding in your pee. And I'm like, maybe that's what R. Kelly was trying all those years. He was like,
oh, shit.
Trying to make immortal 14-year-olds.
Did you learn nothing from Interview with a Vampire?
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think that's a fun joke. I always love those ones that like that teach somebody something in such a way that they're like, oh shit, I learned something and it made me laugh. So I think there's a lot of promise in there. I'd love to see that joke fleshed out.
Yeah, I do truly hate those food jokes though. Like how hacky are like, oh, the first person. The only one I ever really enjoyed was whose joke was it? I think it was Norm Macdonald has the one about foie gras, about pate. Like have you not heard that? I'm
not familiar with the joke itself, but
okay. It's he has a joke about, imagine the first person who ever had ever made foie gras as a, hey guys, like I was over, torturing ducks like I normally do. And I decided to like strap a funnel in a face and just feed it all this rich food. Like it's actually, it's a good one. It explains foie gras or pate really well. I'm not doing it justice, but yeah, Norm Macdonald, foie gras.
I got something to Google after this. It'll be good.
Yeah.
So
thank you for assigning me homework. On the
yeah. Hey, it's turnarounds for fair play.
Yeah.
So Paul, just to add to the education that we're providing people tonight. So somehow with the fish and that they're toxic because of the pee, I came up with people who drink pee, and if there's a way to make a joke about them. So apparently it's called Europhagia or phagia.
Europhagia?
Okay. Yeah, because when you Google people who drink pee, that's the first thing that comes up. And I won't share what else comes up with.
Bear Grylls? Bear Grylls comes up.
But yeah, because there's a whole thing about it drinking urine good for you. I don't know. I may have found a new favorite beverage, but yeah, I don't know.
Didn't need to know that about you, Mike.
There's something. Okay. Yeah. It's called recycling. No, but so there you go. You can. There's a new topic you can work with.
Cool.
They drank their own piss in Waterworld. Remember that movie? The
Did
worst
they drink
movie ever
their
made
piss?
that everybody's seen.
Yeah, the Mariner does. He pees into a Mr. Coffee, and it's apparently all good.
Kevin Costner. Yeah, he also did a movie where the postal service survived the apocalypse. We're not seeing that right now.
Yeah,
Um,
we can check the postman off of what Armageddon are we heading towards?
Yeah, he also dances with wolves, like for fun.
so Michael,
Yeah, Michael, you are up, my man.
Okay, cool. So as we were talking about before, I do have a disability. It's a condition from birth called multiple congenital musculoskeletal abnormalities, which, for those of you who do not speak Latin, is actually the medical term for slightly fucked up. But it's not all bad because I get to be the PSA portion of the show because basically I get on stage and go, guys, please don't drink and drive. We're going to do a very simple test. At the end of the show, if you're walking like me, we will take your car keys. And guys, if I'm walking like you, please take mine. It goes both ways, people. But here's the thing. Lately, I actually haven't really been walking on stage. I've transitioned from stand-up comedy to sit-down comedy. Because part of the slightly fucked up is that I was born without any hips. So my hips were actually constructed when I was a kid, which was kind of interesting, right? It made for an interesting childhood because, like, realistically, most kids were playing with Lego. I was Lego. Like, they basically snap it together. Hey, look, hips, awesome. And it was weird because when I was a kid, my doctor said to me that my hips would last me till I get through school. Like, guys, I'm 45, so I don't know if like my hips on borrowed time or my doctor just thought I was a fucking idiot. I don't know. I don't know which one it was. And it's interesting. So like, I actually went today. In Ontario. So I went to a doctor. So as I said, I have an artificial leg, and I went to a doctor who looks after the artificial leg. Because basically, so here's the thing, right? The doctor told me, okay, like I've had an artificial leg since I was 18 months old. So I've got it pretty much under control, status quo. It's not going to be like I go to the doctor, good news, you no longer need an artificial leg. That's not going to happen. That will not happen. So I'm like, why do I have to come every year? But the thing is, she said, like, if I don't come, I'm going to, then when a repair is needed, she won't sign the paperwork for me to get the repair. So it's basically, I'm like, this is the most brilliant fucking marketing I have ever seen. You have a captive client base. Every business should have this sort of model. But so basically, I'm on a waiting list to see a doctor for my hip. Um, I can see the doctor to prove that I still need an artificial leg, but the hip doctor that you got to wait for. So yeah, I'll be honest. I was mostly interested in the part about the sitting because that's something new I've been working on. The part about the prosthetic doctor that was I added on because it just happened today and I was pissed about it. So that was more. I'll be honest, that was more my rant. If you want me, and if I because every time something pisses me off, I'm like, can I put this in my comedy routine and at least make some money off of it? That's the question. So yeah, feedback.
it's the I transitioned to sit down comedian, and when you explain like the hips and how long you've had them, just to say, so for me, standing up is a lot like you planning a road trip with to start the day after your car's warranty expires.
I like it. I like it.
I was laughing at the imagery of like you said that they have you as a captive audience. So I was also laughing because, like, if they take away your leg, that's also like a captive audience. You're not leaving that room either. Shit, I can't escape.
Also, at this time, they're drumming up extra business, forcing you to go to a hospital where you have a chance of being exposed to people with COVID. It's like if you're in the crosswalk and you're hit with an ambulance.
At least that's efficient, right?
Yeah.
You can just throw me in the back.
It was a slow night, a very safe night for everyone in town.
Mhm.
I would like it if you went to the doctor and just acted surprised every time they asked you about your leg. You're like, "Fuck, what happened? When did I lose this?"
It's our socialized medicine that doctors would get pissy back at them.
It's almost like my car. It must be with my car keys. No.
For a little bit of feedback, when I was doing shows, Michael's preferred song to be introduced with was I don't know if you guys know it. Bryan Adams' "Run to You."
Yeah.
You could always do "Flock of Seagulls." I ran.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I always feel bad. Like I always like because as a fat comic, like every time I got walk up music, they'd always like pick Brick House or something like that. And you're like, you son of a bitch. But
Well,
like, did you get to pick it, Michael?
Okay, so I actually picked it, but then what I used to do is like when I bring in, I'd like I turn to the like sound booth and go "Run to You." That's funny, and then like turn back and go "Fucking asshole." So I actually picked it, but then I would make it seem like it was just the guy being an asshole.
When the true asshole was no.
Yeah, the true asshole is me.
Some poor DJ's like, I didn't do anything wrong. What? I just did what he wanted.
And then the poor DJ is like, then I look like the asshole. I'm like, don't worry, if anyone gets pissed at you, I'll cover for you. And then I just cry in the background, going, he always picks on me. No, they never suspect the dude in the wheelchair. That's all I'm saying.
Michael, besides your hips, did you have anything else reconstructed?
Yeah, my right knee.
Your right knee?
Yeah.
And your thumb? Your right thumb?
My right thumb, it wasn't reconstructed, but it was just malformed.
Okay.
So that was part of the abnormalities.
Right.
So that whole term is actually, I recently found out, it's actually an umbrella term that doctors came up with for when they don't know what is wrong with you. Because they're like, we can't go, that's fucking weird. So they came up with a nice long name and made parents feel better because at least you could have a condition. But yeah, it's basically a nice way of saying we don't know what the fuck is wrong with you, is what it comes down to.
So my medical condition of being cosmetically challenged.
There you go. Exactly.
It's an umbrella term for ugly. All right.
There you go.
And
thanks for the feedback, guys. That was good.
Their feedback. All right. So just James, whenever you're ready.
All right. So 2020 is fucked up, man. All right. I went to Santa Cruz this weekend, and it was kind of creepy. It got me thinking. Like, imagine a time traveler from 2019. All right, just testing out his time machine, you know? All right, I'm not gonna push the limits. I'm just gonna jump just 1 year into the future. All right, next thing you know, you're on the streets downtown Santa Cruz. You know, there's creepy harp music playing. You know, all the headlines of the newspapers are talking about some kind of virus. People are wearing masks and bumping off each other as if they have a 6-foot invisible force field around them. Sounds like an episode of Sliders. or the Twilight Zone. But really, what's more difficult, social distancing or socializing? You know, I was never really good at socializing in public before. You throw in an incurable virus that's communicable through breath, and I'm a wreck. On a side note, do you think coronavirus is affecting the beer company, Corona? Like back in March, you saw all these memes and all these jokes about coronavirus, Corona beer, whatever. Nothing. Now, nothing. Right? I'm surprised it's still legal to say Corona in a restaurant. Like saying bomb on an airplane. So anyway, I went to Best Buy to buy my son a pair of gaming headphones for his birthday. Now I do my part when I go out in public. I wear a mask. I try to maintain 6 feet of distance. Do you guys do that? You know, sometimes I feel like I'm the only one even trying. All right. Sometimes the hardest part is maneuvering through the front door. Like I'll often wait by my car in the parking lot to kind of survey the area. You know, do I want to run and get in front of this guy coming from the Target next door, or do I, slow down my pace and fall in behind him? I actually opted for a brisk pace, dove in right before him, and made my way to the gaming aisle. Right? Johnny and his mom were buying headphones as well. Johnny wanted to buy 2 sets of headphones because he wanted one for his Xbox and one for his PlayStation. But mom already told Johnny, we're only getting one thing. And if you don't choose now, we're getting no things. I assume in my head to entertain myself while I wait in the Nintendo Switch aisle next door. Who plays the Nintendo Switch anyway? These games are crap. I'm just kidding. I play Nintendo Switch. Sorry, wait, I have to turn my page. I told you I just wrote this down. All right, so they leave, right? Fucking, most gaming headsets are compatible with multiple systems anyway. Stupid kid. All right, anyway, they leave. I seize my moment. And as I'm trying to decide between HyperX and Turtle Beach, I see a man enter the aisle from the other end. He's barreling right towards me with no intention to stop. I have to actually drop the headphones, leave the aisle, and duck back into the Nintendo aisle. This motherfucker wasn't even buying headphones. He just continued on to the keyboard. Oh, yeah. Who's taking the keys off these keyboards? On the display keyboards? Is it some kind of kid initiation? Is it all Best Buys? Is it just my Best Buy? So I just grabbed the headphones, head up to pay, right? There's really no way to pay without moving within 6 feet of the cashier. All right, but at least they have those big plastic shields that make you feel safe. And as I'm heading to my car, my girlfriend texts me to pick up taco seasoning somewhere. All right, so I figure I found out that Walmart is even trickier to navigate than Best Buy. Right, I got to the entrance and then froze. Right there by the door is a big sign. Please maintain 6 feet of distance from other shoppers. Also, right there is some man with a name tag welcoming people to Walmart. I didn't know what to do. The door is only 3 or 4 feet wide. Right, there was actually no way. I almost gave up and went home. Walmart's set up nice, though. They have the big stickers on the floor to direct traffic. It alternates left and right on the main aisles. And then the side aisles, they have the one-way directions. There's either an enter or a do not enter sign, right? So the Hispanic food aisle had a do not enter sign, right? The taco seasoning was a mere 10 feet away from me, right? But there were other people in the aisle. Normally, I would have just grabbed it. So I go to the next one, and there's someone there. The next one's a do not enter. The next one, I should tell you, this trip was supposed to take me a half hour. I've been away from the house for 2 hours at this point. Anyway, 3 aisles down, I go ahead and give the cart a 3-step running start and jump on the back, scooter that thing, to make up some time. I'm laughing at my own joke. Hang on a second, guys. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's cut this short. All right, let's say that I get the taco seasoning with no further complications. Okay, the aisles of Walmart are set up nice, but the front end is a fucking free for all. All right, you got people coming in, people going. You got people coming left and right. They don't care what. Some people are waiting in line. Thank God for self-checkout. Fuck, I think I'm home free, and as I'm making to my door, there's a man there that should not even exist. He wants to check my receipt. I just run for the car. That's it. I'm out of there. Did I mention I bought the wrong headphones? I'm not returning them. That's it. That's what I got.
All right.
That was my weekend.
That was your weekend. When you said you were going to buy headphones for your kids because you're a good dad, I'm a great dad.
Oh, it's his birthday. Yeah,
it's his birthday. And then when you were in the who owns a Nintendo Switch? I do. Well, I stole it from my dad, or from my kid. Sorry, I'm not that great a dad. Just kind of a throw in there, and maybe exaggerate. Did I tell you how long this trip was? It was supposed to be like a half hour to do these tasks. I've been out there for 3 days now. Just, just take the exaggeration to a new level.
Yeah.
I like the time travel from 2019 to 2020. There's a lot there.
Yeah, especially like if he goes back, nobody's gonna believe him. You won't believe it. There's masks. People got really worried about tigers for some reason for like a week. Murder hornets, they never came back. Like nobody ever talked about them again. But in there's like, you're crazy.
And then you just have that moment where you go, hold it, wait, no, I think I met him. Like he was on whatever corner in Santa Cruz, just shouting it. The virus is coming. The race war is about to start.
Yeah, that actually happened though in Santa Cruz. There's some girl across the street playing this huge harp. Right as I'm walking down the street, there's a guy on the sidewalk selling rocks. Look at this shiny one.
My mind went to a completely different place. Selling rocks, here's your free riot, your looting package. Don't forget to like and subscribe
Your
to my little store. Yeah.
The idea of being in the store, I just think that's kind of funny because it's like it almost feels like now it's just like when you're driving and you miss your exit and you're like, fuck, now I got to go 5 aisles down and take a right and hope I can merge back in.
Yeah.
And also, like, the person checking your receipt, what got me was it at Best Buy or was it at the grocery store checking?
That was at Walmart.
Walmart.
Okay. So it's like, I just laugh at the idea of like, you're going to risk your ass for like taco seasoning, man. Like, you're going to get COVID to make sure I pay for this taco seasoning. What commitment do you have to this minimum wage job?
Yeah, I have a lot more tags on that whole joke, but I cut a lot of them because I don't know. You guys weren't laughing.
Sorry.
We're comics, we're broken people. We don't laugh during comedy.
We have no heart.
Yeah.
The other thing I thought of when you were talking about getting your kid the headset, I got it from my kid and you were saying you play Wi-Fi. Say you also got your kid some smokes, a bottle of Jack Daniels, like that, kind of playing on the fact it's for your kid, but you like it too, that type of thing. So just let some of the stuff you'd only get.
Yeah, you're all kids at heart, so it's really for your inner child.
Exactly.
Other feedback. Rock on. We are going through these. All right. So let me get myself all set up for timing. All right. I don't like when people, or like when teachers try to pretend they're edgy, like they still have some sort of rebellion in them. And like, because every day I'll get a person that'll be like, oh, hey, Gavin, you must take a lot of these jokes about that you see at school. You must take a lot of those on stage. Do you ever tell them about the crazy things that we get up to? All the wild times we have? And I'm like, no, Greg. Okay, we've never had a wild time, bud. Right? Your name is spelt with 3 G's, Greg. There's nothing rebellious in you. Okay, you brought a safety G to your own name. All right, in case you lost one. Like the last time we had a party at your place, you had a 6-pack of beer, and there was 8 people. All right, you didn't give a party. You didn't have a kegger. You had a goddamn SAT problem. All right, I didn't have time to figure out the fractions of how unhappy I was going to be at your party. You know what I have in comedy? I have a friend. He devotes his entire Sunday to taking LSD and tripping the light show fantastic. You know what we call him in the comedy scene? Responsible John. Okay? He's the one you trust with your cat. You don't trust him with your drugs, but you trust him with your animals. All right? So I don't handle edgy people well at all. But I'm not any better. My secret is that my state, Washington, we legalized weed, and I didn't even try it for 3 years after it had been legal. All right. What's embarrassing about that fact is I went to college for 6 years. Not a doctor, just very dumb. Okay. Like Like I didn't even know how you could get drugs. I'd just be like, everyone's house smells funny in this dorm. Like, what is happening? Like, do you guys have a skunk in back? Is that what's happening? Why are we all giggling? I don't get it. But finally I went to try weed. I finally I sucked up the courage because I was like, hey, the devil's lettuce, technically a salad. Let's do this. And I went to the dispensary and I opened the door and then I noticed right behind the counter was one of my former students. And I like froze. Like I was like a deer. I was like, you can't see me if I don't move. Okay. And then I shouted out, this isn't the strip club. And then I fled the scene. I was just sitting in my car and I was like, this isn't the strip club. That's what you went with, Kevin. It's Tuesday at 3 p.m. You think you wanted Tuesday titties? Is that what you think was better for your reputation? But I finally sucked up the courage and I went in and I said, I made my purchases and he goes, hey man, you look like you want brownies. You look like you want an edible. And I was like, man, that feels like profiling. All right. You can't just assume I want a baked good. But yeah, I do actually. You set me up. And he said, look, here's the deal. You want to take half of these. They're pretty potent. And I said, you don't fucking tell me how to do brownies. Okay. All right. I don't understand portion control. You think I'm going to understand your dosage instructions? That's not going to happen. All right. I didn't get these 3 chins by doubling down or not doubling down on brownies. So I went home. My wife took half of one. I took 5 because I was like, these are bite size. Okay, you can't just do that. All right. And then we watched The Office because we're a white couple, and that's what you're required to do by law. And I didn't feel anything for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, my left arm started getting really numb, and my wife wasn't noticing at all. And I was very high, so I started trying to Google with my one good arm, like, can you have a heart attack while high? But it came out, it was like pot high death, weed heart attack now, pizza delivery near me. And like, I would love to tell you that I was brave and that like I confronted my mortality like a champion. It's not. I'm going to die like a coward. I know this. Okay. Because I just sat there and accepted it. And then I just kept like trying to throw my thoughts at my wife, just being like, honey, if I die, know that I love you. Please call an ambulance. Maybe the pizza will be here soon. I don't know. I got saved by Netflix though, because it popped up. It popped up with the "Are you still watching?" And my wife turned to be like, "Kevin, start the next episode." And she just looked at me and she goes, "Why the fuck are you sitting on your left arm?" Oh, man, where were you hours ago? All right, in this existential dread. Also, why can't you read minds? All right, that's my time.
Dude, that was awesome. Those weren't new jokes.
Not all of them.
The devil's lettuce, technically a salad.
Yeah,
you could probably also throw in. And my doctor's been telling me I should have more. You know.
Yeah, just a little tag off of that.
Yeah.
The Greg with 3 G's was good. The Responsible John was good. This isn't the strip club. It was a solid, really solid set. I liked when you were Googling can you have a heart attack on weed? And the answer is yes. You can have a heart attack stoned, sober, awake, asleep. It was a really dumb question to even be looking up.
I assumed it couldn't. You can only have one thing wrong with you at a time. That's just how science works.
Or I just high heart attack, death. Why am I getting all these pages about cocaine?
I thought it was great. The one thing I had thought of is when you were saying I don't know portion control in relation to the brownies. Maybe say, do I look like I understand portion control? That's the one thing I thought of. And Honestly, I liked it. I actually related because I once thought I had meningitis during the meningitis scare we had. I thought I had meningitis. Then I realized it was just because I fell asleep on my leg, so it went numb. It wasn't anything to do with my spine. Particularly when you have an artificial leg, because if you put the artificial leg on the real one, your leg will go numb. There is a fun fact. So yeah, um, but so yeah, I thought that was my only thing with the portion control.
I like the way that's phrased better.
There's I'm sure there's a lot of room for interaction between you and an ex-student behind like a dispensary counter.
Yeah.
More than like if it's the ex-student that's telling you want brownies, like I think that would be I appreciated the this isn't the strip club line, but I think there'd be more to mine with an ex-student than you maybe realizing why he was like shitty at some parts of school.
We're
Yeah,
like
what do
both
you think?
connecting dots at how we failed.
Yeah, but also like how he was great with measuring, like
I have
how
written another joke because I do have a bit about like a student that tried to sell me drugs, and like I tell him like, "Oh, you didn't have to tell me that you sell drugs. We know." And he's like, "How'd you know?" And because you know the metric system.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Other feedback? We good to? Well, let's wrap this bad boy up. So why don't we go ahead and plug some pluggables? Where can we find you? Where can we see you? Paul, where can we see you? What's your Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff? What are you working on?
If actually the link tree is probably the easiest one. So it's link tr.ee/Paul Ash, all one word. And I've got 2 monthly web shows that I do. One is the Love Doctor live stream, and the other one is called Battlecom. Battlecom is a battle comedy show about geek topics. So we do these micro fast debates, comedians punching each other in the face with jokes, and everyone else votes to determine who wins the round. And the Love Doctor live stream is actually a serious show about love, sex, and relationships and advice. And it's me and burlesque performers dispensing it.
All right. Awesome. Michael, where can we see you? Where can we find you?
So on all the platforms, my handle is Illumabilities. Just because I thought Lipsitch was too hard to spell, so let's go with Illumability. Much better. And I do a bi-weekly show that called Collaborative Comedy Competition, which was live, went online during the pandemic, and we've gone back to live for the moment, but our numbers are rising, so who knows? We may be back online soon. So I'll actually add you guys, because the nice thing about, if there's a positive about the pandemic, if I only take clients from my comics from my city, it's just a sad reminder that we're not able to do comedy in person. Whereas if it's comics from all over the place, it's kind of, all right, we're bringing people together. So it's a little nicer. So I will add you guys to keep you in mind if we ever do go back to the online version.
Michael's show is a fine show. Kevin, I actually sent, if you wanted to put the link in a banner, I put my link in the chat.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
And then, of course, we'll have this tagged in on the show as well.
Awesome. And James, just James.
Oh yeah, I have a Facebook page. It's Just James, and I'm on Instagram at Just James Just Jokes. It's just I just post original content. It's not all comedy. Sometimes I'll play a song or just post some random shit that I made on Photoshop or with Premiere that I'm messing with. I'm trying to put together a show, and I'm looking for people to collaborate with. So if anybody's interested, they can just go like my page, send me a message, and go from there.
All right, rock on. And then, of course, you can find me at Cavan_egg on Twitter and Instagram. I'm the co-host of the podcast By Its Cover, where we just judge movies using only their covers on streaming services. I do host that with my wife. And then through that podcast, we produce some questionable content, which is a live streaming comedy debate We pit comics against each other. They argue very dumb topics. Audiences pick the winners. It's very fun and all that fun stuff that streams on Facebook and YouTube. All right. This is the 128th workshop. So bye from me.
Bye for me.
Bye, guys. Thanks a lot.
All